Democrats are coming out with a better deal for democracy. This is their new slogan and their campaign. Now, they say that they are for getting money out of politics because it's polling well. So what's your take on it?
Well, they made the same claim in 2006 in preparation for 2008. They continue to play this rhetorical game. And interestingly, only days before this was put out, I think just yesterday, a poll came out saying that Democratic voters, 72% of Democratic voters, want the Democratic Party to not run on fighting Trump, but to run on a progressive visionary platform. Only days later, they come out and say, we're doubling down on fighting Trump. I mean, could you be any more tone deaf, right?
Yeah, and there's this theory out that they're unhappy with MSNBC doing so much Russia coverage. John and I talked about it on the Damage Report. I'm not buying it, man. I think they love that stuff. And if they're turning around, they're only turning around now because of overwhelming poll numbers going, no, yes, but what are you going to do for me? And part of the reason the Democratic establishment doesn't want to talk about that is because they don't plan to do much. I mean, Alison's right. 2006, they ran on anti-corruption. Now they're running on anti-corruption. I love anti-corruption message. You're running on anti-corruption. There's a giant difference on whether you mean it or not. But to be fair to them, in 2008, did they have the White House or the Senate or a supermajority? Oh, right, they did. They didn't do anything to get the money out of politics.
Exactly, and that's why none of us are standing down. We're not buying it at all whatsoever. And this platform, these policies, well, they're not really talking about policies, they're more talking about platitudes of campaign finance and fighting gerrymandering. They're talking about publicly funded elections, but they're not talking about Citizens United. They're not talking about making sure that we actually get rid of the superdelegates in the Democratic Party and move forward on the Unity Commission that they've been stalling on now for months. So it's distract, shiny thing over here, but never taking any responsibility whatsoever. They're saying that they're gonna do this in order to fight the Trump Republican regime, not in any way whatsoever learning from their own mistakes. I've had it.
Yeah, Naomi Klein had the best quote about this. When I was interviewing her, she said, well, if we got back to the place before Trump, that was the place so bad that it created Trump. So no thank you, we've got to do a lot better than that. So part of the reason that a lot of the National Democrats don't want to talk about policy is because they're not for Medicare for all. Their donors in the health insurance industry and the pharmaceutical companies do not want them to do that. So they're like, shush, don't talk about that. They're not actually for an amendment to get money out of politics. And so it's a lot of talk and we've seen no action. But I'll tell you something, if someone like Alison beats Dianne Feinstein in this election, and that is why this race is so important. It's not any old random race. Feinstein is one of their top poobahs, right? She is one of the cornerstones of the establishment. If you knock out that cornerstone, all of a sudden that little bit of trickle of Gillibrand and Booker and Harris saying, hey, I'm not gonna take corporate PAC money, and that's a great thing, by the way, all of a sudden turns into a wave of all the politicians, all the Democrats go, oh, I'm honest. Yeah, no corporate PAC money. That's what I meant. No, I'm really going to try to get money out of politics because if Feinstein can lose, any of them can lose. So if we have a real progressive that's uncorrupted beat her, it would be an earthquake. And you could make that happen on June 5th. So you got to get out there and fight.